Yo, Chuck, what's the move, man? I was on my way up here to the studio, you know what I'm saying? Then this brother stopped me and asked me, yo, what's up with that brother Chucky D? He swear he nice. I said, yo, the brother don't swear he nice, he knows he's nice, you know what I'm saying? So, Chuck, I got a feeling you turning into a public enemy, man. Now, remember that line you was kicking to me on the way out to LA Lounge in Queens while we was in the car on the way to the shop? Yo, right now, kick the bass for them brothers and let them know what goes on.
Rolling through acting, not bragging. Look bigger than children, not bragging. Brother.
What up, people? We here. Yo,
Yeah.
Zay.
The Black Filipinos in the building. We got your boy Chris on the line. We got Jason on the line. We got David back again. Rookie will be in later. You know, maybe we'll have Maria on today. So yeah, we're just gonna go into we're gonna go into it with David again, and Jason had some questions for him. Then later, hopefully we'll be able to get Maria on, and she could tell her story, and we could finally, you know, get that out the way. So what's up, everyone?
What's good? What's good?
What's up?
Yeah, and, good. I'm gonna let your boy Chris take over, because I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Didn't you just go to the bathroom? You just said, I was in the bathroom.
Yeah, man.
You know, that's that weak bladder.
Yeah, it's the early morning, man. Early morning.
That old age is what it is. So what up, people? You know, we got David back. David, you know, everybody I think by now knows David's story. If you don't know the story, he's been on the podcast numerous times. David is an older gentleman who is dating a much younger Filipina who he plans on marrying. And there's been a lot of controversy back and forth. Is she too young for him? What's the right age? You know, there's people bashing him. So today we have another person on who's a subscriber who's been dropping a lot of comments. And him and David, you know, been kind of going back and forth a little bit in the comments. So today, Jason and David are going to, you know, basically bring their comments to life in the podcast today. So we might as well just get started. Since everybody knows David's story, Jason, why don't you go ahead and start? Give him your first.
Well, I mean, what was that?
Go ahead and just start wherever you want to start with it.
You kind of broke up there, Chris. Well, I mean, I ain't got no problem with them. I know there's a lot of trolls on the internet right now. I got no problem with David. I don't even know the man. I did have some questions. There was one that in the previous, I think the first episode that he was on, that I messed up on. It was a complete typo. I wasn't trying to say that he was thinking that she was his daughter. What I was trying to convey was more of, what if his daughter, if he had one, was dating a man of his age? That was a question. But I mean, we went on from there.
What? Hello?
I can hear you there.
Okay. Well, I don't know what I would do to answer your question. I really don't know what I would do, to be honest. I can guess what I would do, but then again, I would have to know all of the situation. Like if it was my daughter and she was groomed here and growing up here in this culture in America, then I might be, you know, I would have a problem with it, because basically it's my daughter, first of all. I don't even think I would be cool with any man, any age.
Right.
Honest with you, if it's my daughter, but I had a stepdaughter, but that I raised from 6 months to 19. But I don't know, to answer your question, you know, and you know that this culture here in America is different than the culture in the Philippines. And
there is some truth to that, yeah.
There's definitely a different culture. So the mindset and the things that a young Filipino male and female has to go through is a lot different than the typical teenager here in America. And then you have those certain teenagers that, you know, they actually old souls. You know, they're very mature for their age, both here and in the Philippines.
I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that because I don't mean to cut you off, but like, I mean, I was young when I got married. I'm divorced now. I was young. She was older. But I mean, I've always been around older people, so I can say, yeah, that there is some truth to that.
Right. And this, I think all your comments were basically, you know, playing a kind of like devil's advocate role. What about the other side of it? What about the other side of what I was saying? And I understand, because like when you said about, you know, what if my sons got attracted to my wife or something like that. Now you're kind of like, you know, something about I don't know it verbatim, but I believe it was like you never know how. Yeah, the whole Woody Allen thing, and you know.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is this: that can happen.
True.
In a situation like that, but you know, I know my kids. I know my kids, and I raised them in a certain way where that will never happen. You know, because my kids love me, I love my kids. You know, none of them have a problem with the ladies. So,
and that's not it. I mean, I'm not saying that they would have to have a problem with the ladies for that to happen. I mean, but
what?
I mean, on the other hand, it's somebody can get a feeling. You know, it's possible.
It's very true.
Yeah. But unlikely, because you know, you're talking about a situation, like I said, if you think that way, let's use me and my brothers as an example. It's no way that neither one of us would go behind each other. You know, it's like even me and my friends, you know, it's just not the type of environment that, you know, I'm around, that I do things that else think that that's acceptable, you know. So, you know, that scenario with me specifically would not happen. You know, it's a guarantee 100% no, I can't say that.
Right.
You know, but with me and my situation, with the type of connection I have with my kids, fiance, that, you know, I don't believe that happened, but it can happen. And not just talking about me, but generally, you know, that can happen with this type of situation.
Yeah.
You know,
and with that,
right.
That's all I was saying too. I mean, it's possible. There's a possibility. Not saying your situation is that, but that it could happen.
Right.
That, I mean, anything is possible.
Right.
But that, I mean, that's all I was saying there. But I mean, on the other comments that other people were coming at you with, that's not where I was coming from at all. I wasn't coming from because people were dragging you through the mud, basically, with calling you all types of things.
Yeah. Well, see, what you is the only person that I've responded to. I didn't respond. Y'all said you're the only person that I responded to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, responded to, I think, one other person, but he said something positive. I responded to you because, like I said, I see where you were going. You know what I mean? You wasn't bashing. You were just bringing out the other side of it. Right. You know, the guys that, you know, like call me out my name or something like that. I don't get that. I don't get that no energy. I don't get that no energy, so I don't respond to them.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either.
Right. So I responded to you because I believe that that's the kind of angle you were going on.
Correct.
A lot of it don't apply to me. Like when you were talking about the percentages of the age groups.
Okay. See that's one thing I can honestly say that you said that it doesn't apply to you, but
right.
Here's a question I'm posed to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you go to a casino, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're in a casino, and you see a crap table. On that crap table, you see a sign that says 95% chance of winning.
Right.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna play. Yeah.
You're gonna hit. You only have.
If I'm in there, I'm in there to gamble. If I'm in there and I'm in there to gamble, yeah, I'm playing.
I'm talking about I'm talking about
and my point with that is that statistics do sit there and give us an outlook of what things could be.
Can you hear me? Chris, you retarded, man.
Balls deep in love. I got Jason. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying when he said the stats didn't apply to him, but that applies to everybody because that gives us an outlook of how things could go. Now, if you're in the 5%, hey, I'm saying more power to you. I hope it goes good for you.
Right.
But there is that higher chance of divorce. I mean, I had an 8-year age gap with when I was married, and then it divorced. She was older than I was. So, I mean, with that, I was in those same statistics.
Okay. Well, let me say this. I'm saying that it don't apply to me. You're talking that you're just talking technical. Technically, those percentage apply to me because I belong in that demographic. I hear what you're saying. But what I'm saying is, I don't live my life by percentages. I've been married twice. I've been divorced twice. My first wife, we were the same age. We been together 20 years. If she was, I think she was younger than me. We was together 5 years. It didn't last. I'm not, but me giving up, because I'm a relationship guy. I'm not that kind of guy who. No, but let me finish. I'm a relationship guy, so I'm not gonna ever give up. So the fact that my fiance is 18 years old, I'm not going through percentages and going through my life like that. And like I said, I didn't I didn't go to the Philippines. I didn't meet her till I got there. I didn't know how things were going to go. It's just so happened that me and her connected, on a spiritual level. Like we actually enjoy being around each other. You know what I mean? I can't really explain it to you, but it's not a thing where I'm just some old dude. I'm going down there, seeking young girls. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem in that department. It's about the connection. So for me, that's why I'm saying for me it don't apply to me because I've been through some stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I wouldn't be going this far blindly. Yeah, I wouldn't be going through this stuff blindly. So, what you're saying technically is true. I can't say that you're wrong. All I'm saying is because of the confidence and my perseverance, it don't apply to me on a negative side of things. You know, I'm towards
I
the where it's successful. That's what I believe.
I wasn't coming at it negative. I'm just saying that act a little, actually a lot against it. But I mean, I want it to work.
That's right.
And like I said, me personally, I have, like, I wouldn't do it myself. My fiance, who I'm with now, we're the same age. She's 20, same month, is like 25 days difference. But would I do it? I wouldn't, but I mean, to each his own. And I mean, and with the culture, like I said, like I was telling you, I've been around the culture for a long period of time. My ex was Filipina, and I kind of grew up with it. My mom being a nurse, with her, I mean, almost a lot of Filipinas are nurses, and I've been around it all my life. So, where I was coming from is I do have some insight on the culture.
Right. The culture, but
the people.
The culture is not a total. Yeah, but the culture is not. They're not robots. So they're all things are not the same, and that's why I'm saying, the culture really is what brought me down there because of what I heard about the culture.
I couldn't hear you. It was breaking up.
I said the culture is really what took me down there. It really what got me down there because of the culture.
Okay.
So, hey, I'm happy, man. And I just wish everybody else the same type of happiness, in their lives,
I'm still hungry.
Me too. But yeah, that's what's up though, Jason. I appreciate your comments, man. And sometimes when you writing some comments down, it kind of like, your assumption of the, like if I'm within the comments and stuff like that, sometimes that can be misconstrued.
I don't want to
do that's what I was saying on a comment also, is you can't tell the affliction of how somebody's talking.
Right.
Yeah, that's one thing.
And that's one thing.
I've seen that. Is that and that's why I invited Jason on, is because when everybody was disrespectful.
Will they take my virginity?
Jason, one thing I noticed with Jason.
Rollo.
Did we lose Jay?
What'd you say, Jay?
I don't know. It kind of was cutting out.
Yeah, Rookie's here. Hello, Rookie.
Hello.
Hello, Rookie.
Hello.
Hello.
Jay just got some new internet I seen, and it's still cutting out.
Yeah, I seen that video too. It's all happy.
Yep.
It's going to 96 megabytes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
He's still connected, because otherwise, if he wasn't, the stream would have ended. But
yeah, I see his face. I see his face, Chris. I see him in the.
This is different. I'm seeing commentary.
What? Moo. Yo, you been sitting there talking, didn't know we couldn't hear you.
Necesito pronto, mira que ya está haciendo.
¿Qué?
Do you want me to get herpes?
Ew.
Premarital sex will make your genitals and your soul burn.
Yo, Jay, where you at, Jay?
His mic went off.
Got it. Looks like you got it on. Oh.
He disappeared now.
You got that plated internet service.
He's on that McDonald's Wi-Fi. That McDo Wi-Fi.
He's paying all that money for that ice fiber, and it's not doing anything. Hope he gets a credit.
McDowell Wi-Fi.
But anyway, back Jason, back to what you kind of commented on. During I think it was the first podcast that David was on. I was kind of, when we were reading some of the comments, I was kind of like coming from the same angle you were with some of your comments about how like with his sons, I always saw that as a possibility as well. So I kind of did push back on that as well. I kind of felt that that anything can happen. That's how I look at things. Like you said, anything can happen, and even though I also can see David's side. David saying, no, I know my kids. That would never happen. I totally get that. But in the realm of possibilities, it is a possibility because it could happen. Hey, you know what? It could not even, maybe not even one of his kids. Maybe it's one of his kids' friends, right? I mean, it could be that too.
Right. Or Dave, you said she was gonna go to school, right? When she comes.
Yeah, 5 years
down there.
Hello.
She's gonna go down there.
Over there.
In the Philippines, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna look for a school
and I was and that's.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You can go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, also, Chris, to add on to that was like, if she was gonna go to school here, I mean, there's a lot of influences just here also.
That kind of goes to what I was saying too in that first podcast, was that for her to be able to, whatever we were talking about, I think your pension or whatever it was, David, she has to be in the States for 5 years. Was it something we were talking about? And I had said,
security,
yeah, she has to be here 5 years so she can get her citizenship. Yeah.
And I was saying, if she's going to live here in the States for 5 years, that age that she would be coming over here, she'd be exposed to so many things that she might not want to go back to the Philippines. I was kind of saying that part, which goes on. You were saying that, hey, if she's going to go to schooling, she's going to meet a lot of different other people. She's going to be exposed to a lot of other things. And those are things you can't control. And that's when we were making jokes.
Yeah,
like
I'm not worried about
David's in the locker.
I'm not worried about that. You know what I mean? I mean, you talk about stuff that can happen to anybody. It don't matter the age, really. Like I said, I've been divorced twice, and I just don't live my life worrying about what can happen. I'm just not that dude. I'm going about my life. I feel comfortable with the way it's going. The possibilities are there, but all these possibilities are negative.
You deserve
That's not the energy I got. I got positive energy.
You gotta be
That's
positive.
all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I hear y'all. I really do. I ain't trying to be dismissive about what you're saying. But
and know that to be a positive thing.
For me and my situation, it just don't hold no weight.
Yeah, I'm not, and where I was coming from, it's like I'm not saying live in any fear, but just being a devil's advocate in it.
Right. Okay. Right.
I'm looking here at the devil card here, and you've got one fierce temper. You understand me? Putting in there 2 cents, and you didn't ask for a penny, did you?
Yes.
No, I didn't. Oh, Jay's back. Jay's back.
Yeah. This computer just started acting right. But hey, ask your question. I'm here.
Just taking a dump.
Jay, do you have
I've been done.
No, you were saying something, Jay.
Oh no, one thing I was saying is that one thing with Jason and why I brought him on the show, a lot of times, you get hecklers, and the thing that was different about Jason and why I brought him on is after everybody stopped, asking crazy questions, Jason was still asking and he wasn't being disrespectful. And
Right.
I said, you know what? I want to bring him on the show. And also, he had a lot of questions. And one thing that Jason spoke about that I wanted to touch base on was I think Jason sent the link about how old a woman has to be for you to take her out of the country,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
one thing that me and Chris found was that you could actually marry a Filipina that's 12 years old or older. If
With
they give
consent, yeah, you could.
Yep.
And that's the one thing that had, that's like, and me and Chris was talking about it before. That's like something, you would do in the 1800s, 1400s.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that would be something that
Even in the early 1900s, honestly, because
yeah, you're right.
Because my grandmother was married at 13.
Yeah, but then we was talking again about how that was a complete different time. That's when women were raised to be women at the age of 12, 13. To where times were different.
Mm-hmm.
And
people didn't live as long either.
Exactly.
Everything was different. You got to remember.
Mm-hmm. But the
thing I remember too. A lot of newborns died too.
Yeah.
In the first couple of years of their life, mortality rate was much higher for children. So like people got married younger. They had a lot of kids. Yet, some of you might meet a family that only has like 3 kids, but then you find out they had like 6. But like 3 might have died within the first like year or 2 of their birth. Because times were just different back then.
Yeah, and it just when you sent that, Jason, Chris looked at it, and then when he showed it to me, I was just blown away that was still in effect. And it's weird because I forgot I had somebody on a podcast, and they said, I was walking up the street, and this older woman, tried to set me up with her granddaughter. And the girl was like 13 years old, and I was wondering like, how is that happening? But then when I seen that link that you sent, I said, I see why she's doing it.
You know what? No joke. When I was in the Philippines, I was in 10, and I was just leaving. I was in the Makati area, and I was leaving the Robinsons Mall, a place where I can get my favorite dish. And I found this bar. It was a Kanilaw, and I found this bar, and I got some. And I'm sitting there, and I'm looking around. Me and my brother were just looking around. This 50, 60-year-old man with this girl that was, luckily if she was 14 on a good day, sitting on his lap, arms around him.
What's wrong with you, man?
Exactly. I'm just like, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's crazy, man, because not only that, sometimes you see women, like I forgot where it was. I seen this woman, she was older, and and I see this and I can tell what it is right away. Like you can see an older woman walking around and they're letting the younger woman lead them. And the younger girl was like maybe 14 years old. And then at first I was like, okay, that's nothing. Then I seen it again. And they're like walking like with the younger woman like kind of holding their arm. And it's kind of looks like very pimpish, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there looking like, wow. Yeah. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, wow. And I started paying attention to it more after you sent me that link. So now I kind of figure out what it is when I see certain situations. It's like, wow. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory.
Yeah, and the crazy thing too is that, one time it happened here in my building where I live. I'm walking downstairs and the girl had been like 14 and 15, and I'm like, why is this little girl flirting with me like that, right? Of course, that's what little girls do. But the way she was flirting was like she wanted me to approach her, and I didn't even know about the under 18 thing yet. So then when that happened, and then after that, I started learning all these things that I didn't know, and I said, wow, I see why it is the way it is. So, when you think about it, and they have the police at the bars trying to lock up people, trying to take home the younger girls. You're like, can that really be stopped? If you're not really soliciting for prostitution, you get what I'm saying?
No, baby.
It just blew my mind, man. What?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and Rookie, what do you have to say about that?
Oh, you guys can hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know because I feel like it's the guy's fault because if there's nobody to be with, like if there are no men out there, like older men trying to get younger women, there wouldn't be any younger girls trying to, flirt around and or do all these things. So I don't know why I'm blaming the men for this, but I am.
Oh, Rookie's bringing out the feminism. So, what do you guys have to say about that?
Well, she's blaming the responsible. If you talking about a 12-year-old,
Yeah, exactly.
14-year-old, then she's blaming the guy because he's supposed to be the adult. Even though she's underage, I mean, that's 12, 13, 14. I mean,
I blame the parents.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and see,
are they?
there's a lot of blame on both sides. I mean, the parents, the guy that's actually doing it, but I mean, and I probably could get a lot of slack for this, but I mean, if you look at it, if you think about it, the parents are only doing it for financial gain or gain, and as soon as that stops, then it becomes a problem.
Mm-hmm.
See, I think the guy, not that's cut you off, but I think the guy has emotional issues, has some unstable issues where he sees that as like what turns him on or what's his thing. Whereas
that's a predator thing.
Yeah, and with the parents, like you said, they're doing it purely for financial, so they're pimping their kid. So it's like I look at it as they're both to blame. The kid isn't. The kid has nothing to do with it. The kid's just being used. He's being used by everybody. The kid is 100% being used, and is being robbed of their childhood. Plain and simple.
But not all parents do that, though. There are some kids that are young and they know that they're going in, for money because they know that they want to help their parents. So it's sometimes also the kids who want to do it themselves. It's not even the parents. The parents have nothing to do with it. Because I remember when I was in Subic, I was in this, what do you call those bars? Anyways, so there was this girl who was dancing. And then I was like, why you? I asked a lot of questions. So I just made friends with her.
Why are you naked?
No, I'm not. I was like, oh, why are you here in Subic? Where are you from? I actually interviewed this girl. So I was like, where are you from? Why are you in Subic? Why are you doing this? And then she told me like her sister moved to Subic. So she's just following her sister. She wants to save some money and go abroad or something like that. That's why she's doing this. But she didn't say like her parents forced her to do it. It was her own choice. And she was, I think, 16 and she had a baby at that point already, but she was still like dancing.
No, is it a topless place, a nude place? What is it?
It's not really topless, but they're wearing
like bikinis and stuff.
Yeah, bikini, something like that.
So a gentleman's club or a go-go club.
Yeah.
Wow, she was underage, and it's crazy. I don't know if maybe they can get a parental consent to work there, like they're going to a school trip or something.
They don't need one.
Think so.
I don't think they need one.
They don't need.
Oh wow! See,
it's like going to the beach.
Because one thing it's not really enforced there. The states where you have to be a certain age to work at these places. There was a Dateline documentary about it. There was a guy from Texas, and he was 49, and he was the owner of a bar. Had nothing but like minors working there. 14 and up.
Were they Mexicans?
This is in the Philippines.
Oh wait, this guy from Texas is in the Philippines with the bar.
Yeah, there's a lot of foreigners who own bars. Actually, it's mostly foreigners, not Filipinos, who own those kind of bars.
Yeah.
Who own, I mean.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You had 14-year-olds working there? Jesus.
Yeah. It was they actually there was the Homeland Security was working in conjunction with the authorities there, and they actually busted them.
It's crazy. I was in a supermarket, right, the other day, and so I see this guy's older gentleman, and the girl looked like she had to been about 19.
Will someone make sure my ass isn't showing?
19, maybe 20, right? And so she's standing in the middle of the supermarket, right?
What you talking about, asshole?
And this girl has on booty shorts, right?
Will someone make sure my ass isn't showing?
Exactly. And she had on booty shorts, right? And it was very noticeable. Filipino girl, not like other Filipino girls, very thick girl. And she's with an older guy, right? She's with a guy that's older.
How much older? How much older? What do you think?
Oh, this guy had to have been like 65.
And how old do you think he is?
She looked like she's about 19, 20. But that's not the thing. That's not the thing. This is what I thought in my head. Let me get to the moral of the story of what I thought in my head. You know, and you can kind of read the situation. I'm like, all right, so she's like she's 19, 20. I'm thinking the way she was bold in the supermarket and just walking around, you can see from the confidence on her, how long has this girl been doing this? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought about. I'm like, dude, how bold that girl was. She reminded me of girls you would see in US. You know, you have those girls in US that may be a little younger. They're not, you know, may not like be like girls here. That's not happening to them. But they have that bold attitude, like they're sure about themselves. She came across like a woman that has been doing that for years. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the way she was just walking around, and I was like, oh yeah, this is looks like she's been trained on doing this for like 6 years, 7 years. You know, and it's sad. It's sad. I didn't really necessarily feel sad for her because I can tell she was of age, but just thinking about the situation, you know.
Yeah, you know what? Like you said, she felt very she looked very comfortable in her skin. You know, she's very comfortable in her own skin. She might you might be looking at that situation like how we're all thinking about it right now, like, oh man, poor her. But she might be living it up. She might be like, this is the greatest thing.
Yeah.
You know, like so like they have this thing now in America. Like, you know, they have all the online dating stuff, but they have this new thing now called I saw it the other day. Is that Vice did a thing on it too. It's called Sugar Daddies or something like that, where like instead of online dating.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it's like out of LA. It's based out of LA, and it's just like all these chicks who like wanted to be like actresses and models at some point, but then like they just got into like being dates, like girlfriends. So like people basically it's online dating, but it's more connection of a sugar daddy. So it's an older guy, younger girl, but they're not like young girls. They're like, you know, say 18 to like 25, you know, and these girls get like apartments from these dudes. Like they get cars. Like, yeah, like they're just living it up. And like somebody made a comment, some person made a comment the other day on Twitter about this, saying how this is what America's come to. Like, you don't even have to like try to like get something or work towards like a relationship. You just go online and get what you want. If you have the money to pay for it.
It's so true, man. It's crazy too, because you know, me, I live in a Metro Manila area. Rookie lives like more in a more province style area, right? So what I noticed is, you know, when I first came out here, where I lived before, like sometimes you see like a couple of exotic women, right? But like you see, no, I'm talking about like before where I lived when I first came out here. I was in Pasig. You see a couple of exotic women here and there, a little bit more than over here about where I am. Over here where I am right now in Pasay, in the heart of Manila, you know, I don't see as much exotic woman until I go in the store and I see them with some old guy. You get what I'm saying? You see them with some old guy, and it's like, wait a minute, I don't see you in the street. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can tell. Don't be wrong. You can see some beautiful girls in the street, but a lot of times those exotic ones, you know, that have that like unique look that guys like, You know, and it's weird because the exotic ones usually have a little bit of a darker skin tone, which bugs me out because a lot of girls, no offense to Filipinas, they want to be more white.
Yeah.
But a lot of times the girls that are
Man, you know what?
exotic have a
That's I don't understand that, Jay. I still don't understand that.
Me either. Me either.
yeah.
I don't understand that.
You should understand it. It's the Philippines.
You know what? This is what I don't understand about it. Let me tell y'all. Because usually when Filipinas are like have a little bit of a darker skin tone, I believe they look better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
look
do.
More, it adds more complexion to them. They look
But it's
more exotic.
It's just not a Filipinos thing. It's all over Southeast Asia.
It's it's true.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
That is true. That is true.
Whitening products are huge in like Thailand and everywhere else.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, but
yo, you know what? Whitening products is also big in Jamaica. Also.
Oh yeah, I don't get it with that though because you know they're dark. You know what I'm saying? So for you to go from that dark to light, it just looks weird.
They're just trying to get light skinned.
It doesn't make sense. Like Vibes Cartel, is his name Vibes Cartel, right?
Yeah.
Like I seen what he did to himself, and I'm like, you look weird, man. Like you don't look right. Like he's lighter than me. I see if like you got like my complexion. I'm like a light brown. Like this guy then went and got all the way super light skin. Like he's lighter than he's lighter than Jason and David. And he look beige. He look beige. He's not even light skin. He's like when you get a crown and you get the color beige, that's him.
He's trying to get the Sean Paul color.
But he looks
Sean Paul color.
Sean Paul is yellow. You look beige, man.
look at Sammy Sosa.
Oh, right. Worse. He looks like a beige, confused white man, man.
Man, that's
he
out when I seen it.
But he looked like something you can make in a coloring book, though. That's what's weird, man.
One thing, going back on that, like the kind of touching back on the age gap. I personally know a lady. She's been married for 20 years. Her husband is 87, almost 90. And she's 40, 45, 46, maybe 49. And I asked her, like, what was it? She said she owes him. She owes him for getting her out of this life. And she was from the province also. She wasn't a city girl or anything. So it's like that's another thing where, like, touching back to where you're saying you see all these girls that with these older men, that's another thing that happens there too. And it's kind of the norm.
Yeah.
You know what though? For the girls, like the girls that are in those situations, I guess I can understand it a little more. Because there are some situations, like, you know, like when you see, like when I'm out there helping the poor, and then, you know, like a lot of times that's not poor to a woman in the province. You understand? Like a woman in the province can live like that and they're fine. You know, that's why a lot of times you hear like a lot of Filipinos say, hey, these people have homes in the province, they could live there. At first I was like, what are you talking about? But then a lot of the times that's the situation. Believe it or not, you know, they're out here and they're trying to make their way in the city, and I can kind of understand that because you can't.
I don't understand that though.
Okay, you can speak. I'll let you take over.
I don't understand that because if you have a life in the province, why go to the city and beg on the streets when you have everything else in your province? Like there's this guy, he is from Boracay Island. Like he could do fishing, he could whatever. And he is living in the slums of Manila just because he thought like if he comes to the city, he's gonna be able to like have an office job or, you know, do something. Like because of the dreams. Yeah, because of that. That's why they go to the city and then end up on the streets. But then the other thing is, why don't they just go back and live a simple life? You know?
I'd rather be in Boracay.
Well, I'll tell you though.
I would rather be Boracay too.
Yeah, me too. I'll tell you some of these people, right? Like for instance, there's a group of people that I see around my area, and what they do is like they'll set up their section like to have their kids out there so they can look poor. That I don't respect.
Mm-mm.
I don't respect that. But I do respect, like, say if that guy was from Baraka, right? And even though he's struggling, he's still hustling to get by. Because a lot of times, believe it or not, those people won't ask you for nothing.
Yeah.
And you won't know unless you talk to them and get deeper into their situation. But those are the kind of people that I wouldn't mind helping. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The person that's not begging, but then you talk to him and you get deeper into it, and he's like, "Oh well, you know, I'm trying and I'm doing this and I'm struggling, and you know, sometimes I don't have food, but I'm trying to make a way." That I respect. And I learned the difference when I started, you know, speaking to people and seeing them all the time and going in these areas, is that some of these people won't ask you for a dime. And those are the ones you got to tip your hat off to, you know. But yeah, just to touch back on.
I mean that goes with anybody too. With anybody that are hustling and actually trying to get something done. I mean, you have no like you can't look down on them. You gotta give them that respect.
It's true, man, and those are the people that when I see them, I'd be like, you know what, hey man, you need some help with something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need some help with something because you know they're trying to make their way in the city. Because you got to think, a lot of times in the province, the only thing you can do is farm.
Yeah, but I mean,
Really?
you still have a better life, you know, than being in the city wherein you're sleeping on the streets, when you can sleep in a house. You can be with your family, not be alone. Wear okay clothes, not like dirty clothes. Like, I'd rather choose that than be in a city. City is nothing. Money is in the province. That's what people don't know. They think money is in the city, but money is in the province. That's where the money is.
Yeah, it is.
But
It is.
people still wanna, you know.
You know what? There's a, from what I've been seeing in the Philippines, there is a battle with the advancement of the Philippines as the growth that they're having, and they're right in that iffy area because they still have that industrial agricultural mindset, but they're trying to advance so fast, and a lot of people are not catching up with it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And you know, it's funny. Before I got out there in the street, right, and started helping people, I don't know if anyone remembers, me and Chris did a podcast, and we were saying, you know, giving to people is just not the answer. These people need development in the brain.
Yes.
They need to be taught how to hustle. You know, they need to be taught how to see opportunities. Because when I'm walking in the street, right, and I say it to Kay all the time, even the city, like she said, the province is a gold mine, the city's a gold mine. But people can't see the different opportunities. They just see, let me sell some clothes. Let me go get some bags and sell them. You know how you get people coming up to you in the street and they're trying to sell you like a keychain. You're like, I don't need a keychain. Like, go sell something else. Come up with something innovative.
Yeah.
That's the quick thing though, too, Jay.
Yeah. But
yeah,
like people trying to look for that little quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just people need, you know, they should understand. Like, and I said it before. I said the easiest way to get money and to come up from nothing, I'm talking about being someone poor on the streets of Manila, is to learn fluent English.
Yep.
If you know how to speak fluent English, you can get money in the US, in another country, in Australia. That's what a lot of Filipinos do it, you know, with these BPO accounts and these different things they do. You know, even the OFWs, you don't have to get a degree and go to another country.
Yeah.
You know, here on the phone, digital hustling.
Yep.
And get money like an American does. I see Filipinos do it, but it's so far so few. Like when I'm working online, I see there are Filipinos that are making just as much as I am. And those are the ones you see in Makati somewhere. Then they're working at home, you know? So, you know, there are some people that are taking advantage. It's like they're living in the dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Easy.
they also
It's
didn't
just
have the money to study English, so maybe that's why. Like, I don't know.
and
You can't help everyone.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. If anyone does want to help, learn English. You want to be trained on how to sell or how to speak to people on the phone? It's very easy as long as you know how to speak English. But
Yeah.
hey, get some training on that. You know, I'll even help you if you having some problems. You know, just not to see you just sitting there, you know, waiting for something to happen. It's like waiting for gold to strike in the mountains. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It
It's
is true
just
though.
not going to happen like that.
Waiting to fall in your lap.
English is key, and you see it everywhere. Like Jay and I had this discussion. You know, Jay went to a couple of YouTube events, right? And one of the things I said to him was when I was watching back his videos to edit them, I said, you know, the thing that I notice is this is a Filipino event, right? It's for the Filipino YouTube vloggers, right? And there's one common theme though. The one common theme was that all the YouTubers that they were like pushing and promoting, the people they were like putting up on the billboards, for the most part, they all spoke fluent English. Like English was the common denominator amongst the people they were promoting, right? Then there'd be a handful that didn't really speak that fluent in English, but they spoke enough. But the ones that they were really promoting, the ones that were really pushing, were ones that they could put on TV and do other stuff and kind of bridge over. And another thing that Jay brought up too, and we were kind of looking at a couple of the big YouTubers, was that the ones that are Filipino born, they all have something in common. A lot of them are all homeschooled, and they must have had American or English tutors.
Yeah, or international schools.
Because they hardly have any accent. Right, they have no accent, and me and Jay were looking at them, going, "Yeah, you know, I didn't realize that they have no accent," and it's amazing. And it's, I don't know, it just goes to show that like that is a huge key, and you see it you even see it in America with like, you know, look at baseball. Baseball is pretty much 50% Hispanics, right? But yet, you know, it has to do with which players speak fluent English that Major League Baseball could push. Or what companies would endorse them, because they're not going to, they're not going to endorse somebody who can't speak English. They can only promote so much. Look at MMA. MMA has a lot of Brazilians, but you can only promote a Brazilian in America who could speak fluent English. So it's true. It really does come down to that language thing. And if you can learn English, man, you're gonna climb. You're gonna get those opportunities like Jay was talking about.
Yeah, that's why there's a lot of like Koreans, Chinese, Japanese coming to the Philippines to learn English or having English lessons online, because English is the language of the world. Everybody needs to learn English to have like good jobs and all that.
Yeah, it's so true. Like thing like Kay's sister, right? She knows how to speak English, but it's not fluent to the point where she can have a conversation. And that's the difference between her getting $4 an hour and $10 an hour. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she can go $4. I can get her over the hump, but I can't do it until she speaks English fluently. Once I get her, I can train her everything. But once she gets over the hump of speaking English fluently, I don't know what percent is that. That's like 60% almost. Her paycheck jumps up.
You know, that got me thinking too, because I want to do some stuff in the Philippines myself. But I mean, with my background, I come from a financial background. I worked for JP Morgan Chase for years, and then I was a internet sales manager at BMW and Nissan. So my background is a lot in sales and finance. But with the way the market is in the Philippines, there's a lot of call centers, sales jobs, stuff like that can benefit from people getting actually taught how to speak to Americans and sell to Americans.
It's so true, man. I'll tell you this. That's where between what can take a company to the top, you know, because a lot of these people, they need to be trained. You know, I remember when I was doing the call center thing, I slowed down on it. but I'm gonna get back to it. And the thing that I found with a lot of Filipinos is they were caught up in talking like Filipinos, and you can't do that with Americans. I remember I would train people, and they were like, "Oh yes, sir," and I did a lot of practice pitching because you have to do it with people that are not they're used to the culture, but they're not used to speaking to that culture. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And the thing they would say a lot is, "Hello, sir. Hello, mom." And I
Can you
said, "No,
see?
no, no, no. Don't ever." I said, "Don't ever say that again in your life." I would say it just like that. Don't ever say that again in your life. I said, "You see how I'm talking? How I sound very aggressive?" I said, "Don't be like me because you can't do what I do because I talk like that and I get away with it." You know, some sales guys, Jason, can do talk how they want. You know, and it just works. I said, "Don't
Yeah.
talk like that. Still be nice." But I said, "Don't say sir. Don't say ma'am. Don't show any
Yeah.
respect to the people you're talking to." And it was funny because the person that really, really, really took advantage of it, and I spoke about it I think the other week. She didn't even speak good English, but for the fact that she was so aggressive, she related to New Yorkers well, people in LA, because her attitude. It had nothing to do with her accent.
Yeah, same here. Cause
Hmm.
I actually worked
That
for a call center also.
that's a big thing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, you work for a call center, rookie?
Yeah, well, after graduation, I worked for a call center, and I have an accent. I don't know if it's a mix of African, Filipino, everything is just in my accent. So all my
It's
yeah,
confusing.
it's confusing. So all my wave mates were all like, trying, Filipinos when they work for call center, they all have this American accent. So
Hmm.
they all, speak like that. But then a lot of people still requested for me just because, I'm more involved with the people instead of trying hard to speak like an American. They're always like, oh,
Hmm.
okay, I like to speak to Rookie because she understands me and like this, like that. So yeah, I understand what
Hmm.
you're saying.
Yeah, and I can tell from the way you talk. You know, when you talk, the way you project your words, that all matters. Jason knows if he did sales like that,
Yeah.
that if you're talking to someone for a while, especially if you're pitching them, your tone has to go up, down on certain words. It's
Mhm.
like a lot of sales. It's like a lot of
Yes,
psychology behind it.
yeah, it like going back to like our original topic of the inflection in people's voices. You have to convey a lot of those things in cadence of your words, and
Hmm.
that's another thing of sales is cadence.
Hmm. It is.
I mean, there's a lot more into sales, but cadence is a key too.
Mhm.
It really is because when I'm I talk like this now, but if I'm on the phone pitching someone, my voice goes like 10 notches lower.
What you
Like the
talking about,
coolest
asshole?
guy. I sound like the coolest guy you could ever meet in your life because I'm like, oh yes, how you doing? My name is Jay, and I just wanted to, and I sound so smooth that people are like, well, I want to talk to this guy. They don't even know it's a sales call. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you have to come across. Well,
Yeah,
you
he's
got them on the
gassing
phone.
himself up. I sound so smooth.
Yeah, but
You got that. You got that. He's got that Barry White midnight voice.
Yeah, it
but
sounds
you know,
like
it's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same
slow
thing that it's the
jazz.
same thing that me and Jason are talking about. You got to be positive. You have to you have to go into
Yeah.
to each phone call or each meeting, sales meeting. Like I am the best salesman you ever met in your life. And if you're going with that attitude, people are gonna say, "Wow, this
Yep.
guy's the best salesman I ever met, in
And
my
but
life."
you know what one thing too that I can say about David is you also have to do that in your relationship.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people don't do in their lives is treat their lives as a business.
Mm-mm.
That's a
Preach.
great idea.
If you treat your life as a successful business and you're always trying to get the to actually expand, and you have the right people in your life and in your relationships, you're going to have a successful business, successful life, successful relationship. And
Hold on.
that's
What
one
sales
thing.
gurus you listening to, man? Who you listening to? I mean to cut you off.
It's I learned from, oh man, I can't remember his name. There was one guy that He came into when I first started in car sales. I can't
Grant
remember his
Cardone.
name.
That's a
Yeah,
beautiful.
Was it Grant Cardone?
Yep.
Was it him?
Yeah.
Kyra.
That's my boy right there. But go ahead. Sorry to cut you off.
Rollo.
But yeah,
Dutch,
like
Ryan
like
Sanders.
if you go into it with that negative mindset, or people just use you up, and you have the wrong people in your life, you're gonna run this a horrible business, and you're gonna go under. And it plays in the same thing as in relationships, in your life and successes and everything else. And people don't use that as a outlook of maybe I should run my life as a business.
I think the average person can't put two and two together. You know what I mean? I don't think the average person thinks on that wavelength. I don't think they take the time to listen to successful people and break down what they're really telling you to do, or like how they succeeded. Because I think a lot of people go, I'm not cut out for that. I'm not built for that. Or I couldn't do that. I couldn't cut people off like that. You know, a lot of people hang on to things. You know, the whole saying, I mean, you guys should both know this, that, you know, you are the 5 closest people to you that you keep around, the 5 people in your circle. That's who you are. And you're supposed to change those people out as you grow. You're not supposed to keep those 5 people with you at all times. You're supposed to change those out as you grow, and you're supposed to be the dumbest person in the room. You're not supposed to be the smartest person in the room. But we all know there's people, they want to be that smartest person in the room. You know, because people don't think like they have a lot to learn. Everybody thinks they know everything. So they don't open themselves up to like listen to some dude for 4 hours ramble on about how to get better at something. You know, a lot of people don't want to take that, you know? And like I said, a lot of people don't want to cut people out of their lives. You know, like you could tell somebody, you could meet somebody that has a lot of talent, or they're really good at something. And you could tell them like, yo, man, if you really apply yourself, you know, there's a million things you can do, and you'll make money, you'll get there, but you got to cut out the knuckleheads in your life. They won't do it. You'll gas them up for about 24 hours, and then they'll be doing what they're doing.
Because it's too easy.
Yeah, it's better than it is. People don't like to change. They like comfort.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's weird because it's even like that with family. Of course, you can't cut your family off, but sometimes you may have to distance. No, not cut them off, but you have to distance yourself. You get what I'm saying, right? Like sometimes, you know, you're gonna have that 1 or 2 family members that you can always talk to, and then there's gonna be others that, you know what, you can't talk to them because they don't get you. You know, a lot of times, you know, you can't waste too much time, even with certain family, because it'll drag you down. Like, you know what happened with me, right? Sometimes I would say something like that same.
Believing without knowing the reference.
And it comes across. That ever happened to anybody? Like it comes across like you're bragging.
All the time.
Yeah, they think you're bragging.
A lot of people think that of me, but I'm like, yo, I'm not bragging about anything. I put my pants on one leg at a time. I'm not better than anybody. I'm proud of what I've done, but I'm not bragging about anything.
Yeah, the reason that happens, and you already know this, because you know you can't talk to everybody. Like you would come and have the same conversation with us here, all of us here, me, Rookie, David, Chris. Then they're gonna see it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's another reason why I appreciate you when you reached out to me. I was like, whoa, like why is he reaching out to me? But I did want to come on. I did want to talk. I have no qualms with David. Like I can chill with David, and we can be cool, hang out, be in the Philippines, wherever we're gonna be at. I can relate to him. I can see that he's a cool person. I don't judge him in any way, but like talking to people is one of the most important things.
Yeah,
it's true.
It really
it's
is.
the key to any type of relationship. Communication.
Yeah,
any type of relationship you have.
Yep.
You need communication.
Yep. Golden.
Mhm.
It's what's wrong with a lot of things in this world. You know, people don't want to have a conversation; they just want to argue.
Yeah.
Right. Place blame.
Yep.
That's why I'm happy
Instead of
that
figuring out.
boy Rookie has joined us. Because how old are you, Rookie?
26.
Hold on. Hear that.
But she's old for a Filipina. Get off the damn show.
And right now she's around or how can I say that? An older.
What?
A lot of knowledge. I said no. I said right now you're young and you're around a bunch of people that are older, like who you're talking to right now, right?
Yeah.
Who are not gawking at you. You get what I'm saying? So she has the opportunity to have, you know, an intelligent conversation.
Whoa, you're taking it too far. Giving us too much credit here.
No. I mean, this is a good conversation. I mean, we joke around a lot, but you know, me and your boy Chris, we joke, but you know, we're very. I can't say it. Only we can say it about each other. He's an intelligent guy. He knows I'm an intelligent guy. That's why me and him have always stayed in some contact somehow. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because as we got rid of other people in our life, he was always that one guy. Like, okay, you know what? We're always on the same wavelength, and it's always going to be those couple of people. But the other ones, you gotta be like, hey, sorry, I can't hang around you. Sorry, I can't hang around like that.
People, but on the other hand, with that, Jay, people will look at you like you think you're too good. You think you're too good to be around me, and it's not that. It's like like what's that old saying? The season, the reason. What is it?
Something like that. The season is the reason.
Yeah, like when there's people are in your life for a season or a reason.
Oh, yep, that's true.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and a lot of people get caught up in, I guess you would say probably the emotions, and they're like, oh, you're too good, and you think you're higher than high and mighty.
No.
You know, I don't think that of myself. And if anybody thinks that of themselves, you should probably get some help, because you're not.
Yeah. But then there was this one girl, actually my best friend's friend. I met her, like, we are good friends now, but then the first time I hang out with her, she was like, I didn't really like her because she had this attitude, same thing. But then I learned from her, like, she's like, I only hang out with like the rich people because she's a rich girl. So she only and I was like, no, you don't have to be like that. Don't just hang out with rich people. How about the other people? And she's like, what am I gonna learn from them? I want to be like, you know, good in life. I want to better my business. I don't want to hang out with the people who are not gonna teach me anything. That's why I only hang out with the rich kids. So I was like, wow. But then she's like a good friend now, and yeah, she's actually kind of right in some ways.
Rookie was like,
my parents, my dad, my mom always said, if you surround yourself with success, that's what you'll be.
Yeah. And it's true, because when I hang out with them, they always talk about like businesses. They always like, she has like a lot of franchise for her business. She sells paint and she's very successful. Like today she's in Philippines, tomorrow she's in like France, Paris, everywhere. Like she's all over the place because she learned that she always has to be with people who are successful and they teach her things that are going to benefit her. And it did. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, rich people are rich for a reason, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, and the smart ones, they make their kids make the right decisions. They try to steer them into the right decisions. They give them the hookups. They show them the ropes. You know, they get them interns at places, and some of them fall by the wayside. Some of them become drug addicts, just like everybody else. You know, they're no better than everybody else.
A lot of them do.
It's just that some of them have parents that know, like, hey, you know, you can do whatever you want to do. Just pick something and we'll help you get there. And those are the ones that make it. And they do really good, you know. And hey, you know, if you, like you said, that the girl, you didn't like her at first, but now you kind of like your friends.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good friend to have, because, you know, she's going to show you things that maybe you would not normally be aware of, because she's kind of like on a different path, you know. And maybe something you want to do meshes with what she's doing, and you never know.
It seems to me like she got a character issue though. If she is dismissive about being around someone just because of their monetary standing.
Yeah, that's what I thought at first.
Huh?
That's what I thought at first.
Yeah, because none of us here right now are rich.
Mm-hmm.
You can learn other things from people who are not rich. And for her to be real dismissive about, she don't have time to be around somebody who don't have, the same type of bank account probably that her parents have, then they're not worth spending any time with. I think that in itself, like I said, I see the point y'all are saying about learning something about business and money, but it's more to life than just the business and money. You can only learn so much from a person who, are not, consistently in touch with reality. What goes on in the world.
One thing I would say is never lose touch of who you are.
Yeah. Don't
look down on nobody. But always learn from everybody. Right.
That's my point. That's my point. So for her to, to take that original, I don't have time to, to me, that's like, it's a character issue. Not just saying that she's a bad girl or, I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying that right there is something that I think I definitely, just like you, Roki, would have her on if I was to call her my friend,
Yeah,
I would definitely, yeah.
I was never friends with her first because I thought she was like, a B. But then, like, I think she learned. I think she learned from me and then other people as well. Like,
Well, see, there you go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You learn from real friends. That's what happened, and y'all brought her back down to the level you'd be at.
Kind of bounced her out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, y'all are not like some poor people on the street too, so.
What?
Yeah, y'all are good friends to have, I'm sure.
Whatever, Jay.
I'll hang out and eat with people, bums in the corner. I don't care.
I don't care. I just hang out with everyone.
I would say, but what David was saying, I can kind of agree with David was saying, like about how like you can learn from people that aren't rich, and I totally agree with that. Somebody like Rookie, right, who knows somebody who's rich or has this better lifestyle that parents hook them up and they can do bigger things, and then she knows people with everyday lifestyle. And she probably knows people that are poor. She can learn from everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
one thing too is you don't have to have money to be rich.
Yeah.
But the thing with the rich kid is, though, right? If that kid was born rich, right, born in a certain lifestyle, and that's the only lifestyle that they were kind of like their friends were all the same way, right? A person like that, unless they have parents who say, hey, you got to understand where our family came from, and maybe they didn't come from wealth. Maybe the wealth was generated in that generation, her father's generation or mother's generation. It takes those parents to show them that there's a whole nother world out there besides, all what we've given you, what we afforded you. And I think a lot of kids,
it can stunt you. Being around that, it can stunt you.
The harsh reality is they don't understand the hardships. They don't understand poverty. They don't understand, like David said, people don't connect like reality. They're not grounded enough because they don't know like what a dollar really is. They don't know the value of money.
Yeah.
They don't know because their life has been in such a different atmosphere than everybody else. So it's true. You can learn from everybody. You can learn from a homeless person. If you listen to them and they tell you the hardships, and I'm not talking about one that was on drugs and ended up in the streets, somebody that fell in hard times. Maybe they had a great job. Maybe they lost their job because the economy went to crap, and they lost their job, and they lost their wife and kids because, he lost his job, and he's out on the streets now. He's been on the streets for 20 years surviving. Dude, if you sat down and talked to that guy for a full day, you would probably learn a lot of stuff. A road that you don't want to go down, but you learn, like, they put you on a path like, wow, all right. You'd feel different about things.
Yeah, because those same guys, especially in New York City, there were tons of them back in the days. You have those guys that had these multi-million-dollar corporations and then lost everything, was a bum on the corner for 5 years, and then got it all back. So a lot of times that guy, a lot of people would ignore. But meanwhile,
Yeah.
I feel like this too. If a person has never suffered loss, it makes it harder when they finally do suffer loss. That's why you hear about a lot of rich people killing themselves because they lost all their fortune.
Hey, yeah, I want to talk about somebody real quick. I know David's probably seen it. Jay's probably seen it. I don't know if Rookie saw it, but Jay, you might have seen it when you were still living in the U.S. Do you guys ever see those Dos Equis commercials with the most interesting man in the world?
Yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you know that guy was like homeless for 10 years?
Yep.
He looked homeless a little bit, like his beard.
He was an actor. He was an actor. He flamed out, right? And he was like living in his car. And he was still going into auditions, but like I think he had a drinking problem and everything. He wasn't making it, and he went in for that audition for that commercial, and he got it and changed his life. It totally put him back, doing things again.
Right.
Yeah.
But he could have easily gave it.
Powerful.
Yeah, I just saw him the other day. He was getting interviewed the other day, and I was like, wow, I did not know that about that guy. That was crazy.
On another note, whatever, is there any update on Darnell? I think that was his name.
Oh, Darnell?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Darnell, I can probably invite him in. He'll pop in.
Wait a minute.
So we can find out.
Sad news.
Yeah, because I was like thinking about his whole situation. And he could probably do the visa. Technically,
mm-hmm.
he would have to ask immigration lawyer, but he actually has proof that he's met her, and he's met, like, if he can provide chat logs and pictures. He's pretty much met all the requirements for a K-1 visa.
And plus he can show them all the receipts if he's sending her money through MoneyGram or Western Union, whatever. If they keep the receipts, that's proof of support. You know what I mean? So that can help him out too. I'm like Jay, because I think Jay was saying that he wasn't sure whether him going there and like being with her for 10 minutes counts as him going over there, but technically,
I mean, they.
I got
go ahead, Jay. Go ahead, Jason.
There's
I seen it. Oh,
there's there's an actual like time frame,
right?
That stated anywhere. It's that gray area. Like it doesn't. I don't think there's anywhere that it says you have to spend X amount of days or X amount of time.
Right.
With that person. That's the only thing where I'm like, yo, he can probably just he can file for the K-1 and
see what happens.
Send everything in.
Yeah.
But I wonder, it'd be good to get him back on and ask him. I wonder if her family would let her come over here so soon. She's about to have a kid. That'd be interesting.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that, Chris.
She's like what, 7 months pregnant? I think you said last time we spoke.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. So she probably couldn't come over anyway because I don't believe they'll let her over while she has a child and her she's pregnant. You know what I mean? They'll probably have to make her wait.
Yeah, because
it's not his
because
she's running from something or there could be a lot of.
I forgot about that, Chris. That blows it up.
There is that technicality though that he can possibly file for it now if the pregnancy was an issue.
I mean, he should try. I mean, why not, right?
Why not?
I mean,
if he's putting down 10 G's already.
Yeah.
He still would have to get that felony cleared though. because they look that up when you fill out the application.
I ain't going nowhere.
So he has to make sure that doesn't pop up. The felony.
Is it for domestic violence or you know, some kind of keep away order? If it's a felony, if it's not a felony, I don't think it'll affect them too much if it's not one of those things. You know, I'm not sure, but I would imagine they're looking for some kind of history of abuse with women or something like that.
But you know what I gotta do for him? I gotta get my I have to get my cousin on. My cousin right now, my cousin went and filed some paperwork. My cousin is a felon. He went filed some paperwork, and he got his felony removed off his record, to where he can come to the right now if he wants to, or get married and go back.
See, my cousin, he wasn't going to the Philippines, but he was going for work in Canada, and he had a assault on a definitely. He had an assault on a border patrol agent, and when he was in Mexico getting drunk or something, and they were trying to stop him from coming in Canada. And he had to pay some charges and write a letter, and I think he spent like a week in the at the airport or something like that, or a couple days in the airport, but he was finally able to come in. But as long as, like David was saying, as long as it's not like he hit on a woman, or it was a domestic violence with abuse in that way, I think he should be fine. But I would tell him to consult a immigration lawyer to see if he is able to start the paperwork right now.
Oh, you know what's the crazy thing of why it's not in comparison to my cousin's situation? Because my cousin was a minor when he got locked up, but his was for murder. But the only thing, his was for murder. The only thing with him is that he was a minor. He was 16, so that's automatically closed, and then he got it finally sealed out to where they can't bring that up at all.
Because you can only do that one time, right?
Yeah, but David was of age. He was like 24.
Are you talking about the visa?
I mean, Danelle, sorry. I'm saying you did. Danelle was
I don't got no felonies, man. Yo, I don't have no felonies. Look me up. I don't have no felonies.
David, were you talking about filing the visa one time or what?
What was that, Jason?
Were you talking about? You said could you only do that one time? Were you talking about like filing the K1?
No, I'm talking about if you have like something on your record.
Can
I believe you're able to expunge or close one you know, one of them.
But yeah, I was wondering. I wondered about him because I was thinking about that, and I'm like, he could possibly get her over here.
Yeah. You know what, man? I'm rooting for Danelle because you know, hearing about his story, and some people judge him too. You know what I mean? But he going the route he going because of his life experiences too. But the thing about him, I like to say that he just not gonna give up. I like to see that. You know what I mean? He went there, and by seeing that video, I'm glad he put that video on, because just to see that little small, few seconds, to us, it probably was 10 minutes for him or 15 minutes for him, to see that, and to know, what he has to, be with his girl, I just hope he's successful. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy because, the way, not to make a joke out of it, but the way that Danelle is looking to get a Filipina, his marriage, he must have had a bad situation in his marriage, man. Because he said, I want to lose my virginity, so my daddy love me. He said, I'm not dating none of these women out here. So yeah, how
I feel the same way.
Yeah, what happened in your marriage?
I feel the same way.
Yeah, I want to ask you, what happened in your marriage? What happened? Let us know. Tell it all. Tell it all.
In my marriage,
Yeah. Your past marriage.
infidelity.
What
Well,
was
my
that?
first marriage, well, both of them. You talking about me, Jay?
Yeah, you.
Infidelity.
Mm. Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man. So what led her? Do you think what led her to being like that?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, my first wife, we was together altogether about 20 years, and you know, I don't know. I don't really want to get into it because
David's not.
I love my first wife. I love my first wife because she had two of my children. I may not be in love with her, and we're not in that type of physical relationship, but I care about her well-being. And I just choose not to disrespect her by going into that because we're in a good space and uh for our kids, so but it's just somewhere let me put it like this. At one point you fit, and then at a certain point you just don't fit no more.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened.
People,
People make mistakes, but
people stop trying too.
yeah. But for whatever reason, it's okay, because like I said, if you're to get together that long, you still gonna be family. Like her family is still my family. So yeah. But I would never date another woman in America. I date another woman in Colombia. The place I've been, I wouldn't date another woman there. The culture is the culture, and like I said, it doesn't explain the whole culture, but just for my life, my experience, I just wouldn't do it.
You are a good one, honey. You have a good heart. I just want you to focus.
I can agree with David on that to a lot of extent to that one. Here in America, we have lost a lot of on like everybody. I don't know. This seems lost to me. A lot of people seems lost. They're all about this reality lifestyle.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
It's a desperate housewife generation, man.
Right.
It really,
right.
It baffles me.
Yeah. That I don't need him generation. And they're catching younger girls, even older women. You find women as old as 60 that are looking up to these women, you know what I mean? It's crazy, man. It's all by design. And it's not that there's no good women there. There are. It's just that
Right. I agree with that.
It's just that it's the percentages.
Few and far between, though.
The percentages are the exact opposite of a country like here. Can you still get schemed here? Oh yeah, there are a lot of schemers here. There are a lot of bad men here too. The percentages are different. But out there, we just want y'all to know.
Yeah, I'm not bashing any American woman thing.
Be listening to cars, which
but
no, they got all of us.
Yeah, the way our society has moved. Here in the U.S., it's gotten away from the times of old. And I'm not even that old, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's real, man. And that's what it is. It's not, a lot of times women will look at that, especially from the U.S., and you have a lot of black women too, and they'll say, oh, okay, he's going to with these Filipinas, or they're going to Colombia, or countries. But
But that's our condition. That's the way our conditioning has been. Not everybody's conditioning, but a lot of the people's been being conditioned to look at just in the Black community, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have been conditioned to have that independent attitude, and it's a bad attitude. And look at, I mean, we have broken homes. Go ahead, Chris.
I just want to say, when you said bad attitude, you know, that bad attitude, I'd reduce it down to the attitude is the whole worthless thing. Like there's that word worthless gets thrown around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
you know that the man is worthless, and people aren't going to put up with it.
And that goes back to, especially in the Black community, I can say, you got look at what this is, our system has done for us. Not me personally, not in my situation, because I had my father in my life. Oh, we lost Jay again, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, we still love that.
A lot of times, you know, you see a lot of these broken homes, and that's because of the way our system is designed.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, most household incomes, it got to be two incomes in a household. So how do you raise, how do you raise your kids the way you really would like to? You know what I mean? And like I said, if you cross-reference that with Filipino culture, like I said about, you know, my fiance's family, you got 5 generations in one household. You know what I mean? You don't see that here. You know what I mean? So as far as an example of being a family to a young woman or a young man growing up, you know, it's difficult for them to identify that. So you have that, and what you saying, Jason, is like social engineering. The reality shows, the whack rap songs, you know, all these things that's going into the psyche of the culture, all the garbage, causes it to be like how it is right now. You know, my odds. I'm gonna go by what you're saying, Jason. My odds are not good here. My odds are not good in America. I'm 46 years old. You know what I mean? Who am I gonna meet? You know, I just can't do it. I just can't. You know, the odds are stacked against me.
You know what? I watched the vlog of a guy, and he said that. He said life is like a funnel. When you're all these everything's available to you, and then as you get older,
right,
that funnel starts getting smaller. I agree with it. There's just certain things that I couldn't do. Like with the age thing, I just couldn't do it. I personally couldn't do it because the maturity wise.
Okay.
I'm not saying everybody. Not saying everybody. Okay. Not saying everybody. Everybody is different. Everybody is different. But
well, like you said, you have if it's just a mature thing, like I said, it's a lot of women, a lot of 18-year-old, 19-year-old that are very mature. It's a lot of 30-year-olds that I know personally that are some 18, 19-year-olds over in the Philippines. So, you know, it's just,
I know 50, 40s and 30s that are super immature.
Yeah, right.
So
right.
I mean, it works both ways. I mean, it's life experience that makes us. But yeah, I mean, it 22. It's a double-edged sword, and it is painting it with the broad brush of somebody younger being immature. Not everybody is, but more times than not that they are.
True.
Yeah, the best chance that way.
That's true.
And like with the comments when we was going back and forth on the comments, that's what I was coming from.
You know, it's
what were you saying, Chris?
The age difference though is so much more normal though for expats going to, you know, Southeast Asia. It's more common. You see it, you know.
Yeah.
You get these older guys, much older than David, going over there, and it's just like Jay was talking about. He'd see it, you know, and you mentioned it as well, and you see it, and it's just a little more accepted over there, you know. And
it is.
In America, like we talked with David, was on the first time we talked about it. In America, people would be looking at him like, you know, look at this guy, you know.
If that and I agree with them when he was saying, how'd you say that? You said it something like looking at it with the mindset of an American. I mean, that's all we can do. That's all we are.
Right. Yeah. Even though it's a legal age, 18 is legal over here.
Yeah.
18 is legal over here, but you're still looking at it through a you know, American culture lens where you're saying, you know, scum, like the other guys that were saying, you know, scumbag, pervert, you know, all those other negative things.
It's not only Americans who look at it like that, because at first, when it wasn't common here in the Philippines, me and my friends, we also looked at it like, what the is happening? Like, why is this old man with this young girl? My friends, we always like talk behind their backs because we weren't used to that. But then now it's getting popular in the Philippines. So I guess it's not only Americans.
Oh, okay.
I think Janelle.
What's going on, Janelle?
Hey, what's going on, man? I don't mean to sidetrack your question, David.
Hey,
who are all of these nosy
before we get
influences I'm seeing around you? By
get into anything else, on going back to like the numbers thing, David. And one thing that I found interesting too was a person in their 40s. More times than not, they're going to date somebody like in their 20s. And it's like it was like something like it was something that in the I want to say 30 percentile.
Right.
That's usually what happens. So I mean, it's not how everybody was coming at you. I mean, to each his own. Like I don't have nothing against David. I was just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, we don't have anything against it. The only thing is, it's uncommon. You know, that's why people stare and say stuff. But like, once people get used to seeing those things, people are just gonna shut up and, you know, move along, like go with the flow. Yeah. But since it's like still something that is new to people, then yeah, you are gonna get a lot of talks. But okay.
Right, you're right. You're right. They, you know, people tend to pass judgment very soon, you know, real early without really knowing too much, gathering the data. Because I'm pretty sure if people been watching, they can see, you know, I'm not some weird dude that's, you know, perverted or whatever like that. There, you know, and maybe they was assuming that originally, you know, just based on the short interview. They just went on to thinking all the negative things attached them to me. Right, exactly. And I'm okay with that. Like I said, people have their opinion. You know,
haters.
And that's fine. You know, I don't have no problems with haters.
Yeah, if I'm older, also I'm gonna get a younger guy. Who cares? I want to be with a younger person.
You know what the funny thing too is that also what I looked up too on the women's finding a younger men.
Yeah.
It's a more rare thing that we see here in the U.S. But because the women do mature faster, they tend to find somebody that is younger because they're more likely on the same page, and the man finally caught up to them to where they're at, and they usually date younger. I can't remember exactly the percentages on that, but that's how it was.
Where's everyone?
Yeah, you want to get Danelle in here? Danelle.
What up?
What's up, man?
Oh man, I got the pedal to the metal out here, man. I got a delivery, man, coming up here about 5 hours, man, Northern California.
So we got D on here. What's the update with you, man?
Oh, everything's still going strong, man. Ain't nothing changed, man. I gotta get like I was telling you guys last time, I have to, get these attorneys, man. It's my only course of action. I've been doing my research and stuff, and one of my attorneys is gonna be a certificate of rehabilitation attorney. That one's gonna run me that one right there alone is gonna run me about $5,000, and then the other two are gonna be in immigration attorney on this side, and I'm expecting an interview with an immigration attorney out of the Philippines any day now. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. But other than that,
hey, since you have that immigration lawyer,
go ahead.
Since you have that immigration lawyer, since you technically did meet her in person, ask and see if you can actually file for the K1.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's what the
you actually did meet.
Yeah. Did you see the video?
Yeah, I seen it. I after watching the last episode, I went back and looked for the video, and I seen it.
Yeah. That's what the attorney on this side is for, to do the K1 visa process. I'm not going to try to fight this alone. I'm going to go ahead and do the immigration attorney. I have an appointment when I come out of Northern California. I have an appointment for counseling with specific immigration attorney over in Corona, California. So yeah, I'll be dealing with that when I get back down from Northern California in a couple of days.
That's what's up.
You got to keep pushing, man, no matter what. And I ain't giving up. She ain't giving up. Her family ain't giving up. Nobody is giving up, man. We finna, there's gonna be some good out of this when it's all said and done.
I hear you, man. I know when it's all said and done, Danelle gonna sit there and just look at her for like 20 minutes.
Say what?
And be like, baby, you know how long I've been waiting to get you.
Oh man, if you only knew, it seems like I'm getting more action now. With my girl now, man. This is crazy, man. She pulling out the tongue ring, and she doing all.
Oh, you telling a little bit too much, brother.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, hey, I didn't even know she had it. I never even knew, man, until recent to today. She sent me a picture. Of man. She ready to get out.
Necesito tanto, mira que ya está haciendo.
Wow.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
All right. Danelle, what we're gonna do right now is somebody I've been trying to get on the line for it felt like 3 years. It felt like 15 eternities.
Maria.
Yeah, it looked like she has. Is that a marijuana shirt on, or is that some kind of other leaf?
Whoa!
Uh-oh, not that leaf.
She's smoking the ganja.
420.
Is that medical leaf?
Yeah, we don't want to say that.
Got that 420.
We don't want the birthday running up in Quezon City, so sorry about that, Maria. No, Maria does not smoke weed. Maria, we can't hear you. Maria. Hold on.
Uh-oh, somebody choking.
Somebody choke.
That's Maria.
Rookie, is that you?
Man, that's that Cheech and Chong.
We can't hear you.
Oh my god.
Hey Maria, you know we love you, right? Every time she come on, this happens. It be like,
no.
Yeah, we have audio problems.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, but that was our best show ever because it was the audio loop.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Maria, we love you. We want to hear you. Maria. Your love is like a West Side Story. It started up in the Philippines. Hold on, you got something for me? You got something for me, Chris? It's.
Hey.
Oh, what's all that? You put on
Hey,
hardcore
Maria.
rap. You're supposed to find Carlos Santana. Come on, you boy, Chris. What's going on, man? You gotta find that song.
Oh.
Dang.
So how
God,
old
man.
is Maria?
Actually, you know what? Maria needs her own introduction. We can't hear you, Maria. Chris, get that ready. Every time Maria come on, we gotta play. Yo, you know what's funny? That was actually like my a song I loved a lot when I was younger. And believe it or not, the guy that sung that song, he lived around the corner from my house.
Really?
Yeah, he's from Long Island. You know him, right? Right, your boy Chris?
What song are you talking about?
What makes Matchbox 20?
Maria.
Oh, Santana?
Yeah.
Yeah, Santana, but the guy that sung that song for him, he lived in Long Island in Freeport. And then he moved. And then he was a one-hit wonder. That was all he had. I forgot. That was 15 years ago. Oh, her mic is new, you said, Kay? Oh, Paul, blast that, Chris. Blast that. Blast it.
I gotta keep stopping so it doesn't trigger anything.
Oh.
Copyright.
Yeah, no. Louder, Chris. Come on, Maria. We waiting for you, girl. Oh, there, yeah, see, do the dance. All right, so Maria, try to take your headphones out and turn off the podcast. Yeah, just take it off so we can hear you. And unplug the microphone.
I did.
Okay, yeah,
Now
there
you can hear.
Here.
All right, so yeah, we wanted to we spoke to Maria last time. We got Danelle's story. Danelle has everything going good right now. He's in good spirits. I love that because last time we seen Danelle, you know, he had me ready to cry foam. I said, Danelle trying to make me all emotional.
Oh yeah.
But he trying to get me emotional. I ain't going out like that. But yo, Danelle, I'm proud, man. I'm happy that you in good spirits. And keep pushing, man, because you're better than me. I'm telling you, brother. I probably would have gave up and said, you know, I'm just gonna have to get me a woman in the U.S. right now. But I definitely commend you, man.
Nah, you gotta push you gotta push through it, man.
Yeah, you know, tell my girl every day, it's her. She's pushing me, you know, and I'm already motivated, but you know, we're both, you know, motivated to, you know, pushing forward and not giving up, and you know, I just, you know, we gotta work on both sides. You know, I tell her all the time. She tells me all the time. Like today, I had to get my Cinemar. I had to get my birth certificate. I took care of that today. So you know, we pushing, man. You know, ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no river wide enough. Ain't no valley low enough that's gonna stop this train here.
I heard
that. You getting married? You getting married?
Yeah, I'm gonna marry this girl. Hell yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also sorry that we I cut your story your sex story you know short.
No. I was just saying she had a nah. It was just hey, I wasn't talking about sex. She sent me a picture of her with a tongue ring. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Nothing about sex. Yeah, but you know, I mean, I know where she's trying to go, but nah.
I just say yeah, she pulled out a nipple ring and all that. But yeah, what you saying?
Nah,
Like
she didn't
all in
get out
all,
like
like
that.
one thing too, like
Although I wouldn't be surprised, but hey.
Yeah, go ahead, Jason. We just lost Jason with the finger pointed.
like I wanted to work for him.
So he's back.
We didn't hear that, Jason. The signal went out.
I was saying anybody that is in a relationship, online relationship, and they're trying to get it to work, man, I wish them the best. I want them to work out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a beautiful thing to find somebody that actually you connect with, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we connect real good. Me and my girl, me and my Filipino, we connect.
Yeah, we heard.
Real good.
We heard, Danelle.
Well, one thing I can say about you guys though is Danelle and David, even though they went younger, at least they kept it over 18.
Oh yeah, man. You know I didn't even want to go, man. I didn't even want to go this route.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to go this route, but I got to talking to her, and she seemed like she was mature. I mean, there's a little bit of I gotta grow up still some,
Mm-hmm.
So
but don't we all have that though?
Yeah, we all have a little child in us, I still, man, I'm still, but as long as I take care of my business, I expect that, like I was telling her the other day, I said, look, we can learn a lot from each other, and if we can do that, our relationship will be intact, it will be concrete, it will stay strong, and there ain't nothing that can deter it or come between us, because I'm not too old to learn from somebody that's younger than me. Obviously, there's newer things out there that she may know, and there may be things that I know that she don't know about that I can share with her. So when you work together and you build that foundation, the only good thing that's going to come out of it is a long-lasting relationship. That's what I believe. Communication, man.
Mm-hmm.
On both parts.
Yeah. And
no matter how young you want to be.
Hey,
go ahead, David.
Go ahead, David.
Hey, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
What do Maria look like the Filipino Sade? Is it the forehead?
No, it's the way she has her hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she do kind of got that Sade look.
Look at her smile. Look when she smiles. She looks just like Sade.
She does a little bit. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
But we got celebrities on. We got T.I. and we got Sade.
T.I., Sade. we also have models on. We have the extra short Filipino African model, Rookie on the line too.
What's up, Rookie?
Hey, Rookie, I got a question. Hey, can I ask Rookie a question? Rookie,
yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Have you gotten any better in bowling?
Yeah.
I seen that strike.
Really?
I mean, not that strike, that gutter ball.
I didn't know you watched my vlogs.
Yeah. He creeps silently. He wasn't a person. So. all respect to David.
So,
he hey, baby. I'm coming in your DM.
You was on the show. I had to look at your page. I'm a subscriber now too. I'm a subscriber.
See, there we go. There we go. So now we got to take it to Maria.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Can you hear me?
Yes. And Danelle, your truck is the loudest truck in America.
Yeah.
We need you to mute your mic. And when you have a question. So we get Maria. This truck like he grounding up children in the back or something. All right, so good. We got Danelle. Danelle, you got a question? Nah, man. We'll know it's you. We just hear. All right, Danelle got something to say.
I'm the only Filipina here.
What you say, Maria?
Maria?
Filipina here.
No, we have Rookie's Filipina.
She's half Filipina.
Yeah, you're right. You're the only full-blooded.
Shay.
Yes.
Uh oh.
Shay.
Segala versus Messiah.
With that being said, yes, you are the 100% full-blooded Filipino here. Yes.
Wow.
So talk to us, Maria. You were telling us about your story. Your story
All
had
right,
a
can you
twist
speak
to
up?
it because we were talking to David, and then you said before, yeah, I was 27, and you dated an 18-year-old when you were 27. So,
All right, can you speak up for me, sweetie?
oh, Danelle, you got to turn off the truck.
Okay, hold on.
I mean, not turn it off the truck. I mean the mic.
I don't even see myself on here. Hold on.
I'm gonna cut the cards for you, baby. Let me shuffle them one more time.
So now talk again, Maria. Let me see if we can hear you clear.
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, it's much better.
Okay.
You hear K in the back? K sound like a hyena back there.
All right, can you speak up?
I heard somebody laughing.
I can't laugh. So go ahead, Maria. Go ahead.
I was saying I was 27 when I met my ex in 21 and one of my kids.
We can't hear you, Maria.
Can't hear you.
Speak up for me, sweetie.
Can't hear me?
No, it's like muffled. It's weird.
It's not loud.
Oh, Danelle, can you turn the volume all the way off? Like,
or just hit the mute button.
Yeah, there we go. Mute button. Hit the mute
button. Yeah, just hit the mute button. Yeah.
What's wrong with you, man?
All right, now, hello.
Hello.
We gotta wait for Danelle to hit the mute button.
Necesito
Yeah, I can hear
tanto,
you.
man.
Yeah, no, we can hear you now. We can hear you now, Maria. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, yeah.
How about now? Is that better?
No, it's still loud.
What gives you the right to go out and I know that you're a drunk.
When we had our first kid, so
Okay.
you know the honeymoon stage was gone, and real life was there already. All the responsibilities, finances, work rivalry because we worked in the same office before.
Ooh.
So there was power struggle within. So because there's not maturity in the relationship because we were growing apart at the same time. He was just enjoying his life as a 21-year-old boy, you know, and I was already on my way there to being more mature because I already gave birth and family business was really getting serious and was still going to the bars, meeting up girls, be on my back. Also go home and take care of the kid, and after a hard day's work, then that's it. So I also and we were both in sales before, but we had to go to assignments outside Metro Manila. So I would say so most of that the distance that affected the relationship, but more of I think it's more of maturity. We did it side by side there.
How much have you had to drink today?
But guys, it's still good. Now I'm with my man who I'm waiting for come to the Philippines. I've been on a relationship with him for 4 years already. And things have not been so well with him in the States. And but hopefully we're really pinning out on the timeline. It's like how you guys were saying, there has to be a timeline on everything. So hopefully I'll be with him. And my talking to her. He looks after my welfare sometimes, but you know, in a sense that if he thinks that I would need some financial like financial help, money for like if one of the kids would need something in school, not that much, it's like something of a token, show his love and his appreciation of the relationship, and he just really loves the kids. Although I earn my gifts, he's very generous. I think that is one trait that I really love him. I love about him. we both have we both have the same wavelength. We talk like for 4 hours and we laugh our asses out. It's we communicate. It's a very intelligent like all of you there.
Mm-hmm.
He's so fun to be with. He's so fun to talk to. And even the kids are saying, "Mom, every time we talk to Pops, you're always like a comedian." It's just like that, humor and maturity and most common, the communication should be on the same wavelength, and that keeps me waiting.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
can't go out and meet other guys, but I believe he's the right one because we're of the same age. We have the same smart things between our ears. So we just connect so well. We just connect so
Mm-hmm.
well. His kids are both adults now. So we're right speaking looking forward to a life together. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, that's good to hear. So Maria, because the sound kept coming in and out, but I'll just give a quick breakdown of what you spoke about so everyone can hear. Um, Maria's situation, like she said, first she was with in a relationship with a guy who was, young, 18 years old. She was 27. They had a kid, and he just wanted to go out to the bar, meet girls. He was still a baby, pretty much. Then she met an American man, Black American man, that's of around the same age as her. What is he in his 40s? He's in his 40s, Maria.
No, he's 55. I am 54. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and she's just saying how the maturity level is the same, and how it's just a lot different from dealing with younger men. And I can understand because especially with younger men, Jason was just saying that, we all were just saying that guys, we do take a little bit longer to grow up than girls. Not all guys, I can't say everyone, but it's a high percentage of us, take a little longer to grow up and become mature.
One thing I can like kind of relate to her situation is because I was in a relationship, like I said, my only marriage. She was older. She was 8 years older than I was, and I got married when I was 19, and I was married for 7 years. So I can actually relate to what she was saying. In some ways, I wasn't out there drinking.
Were you the mature one? Would you say, Jason?
Yeah. I mean, I especially with everything, because I didn't come from a wealthy family or anything. We were hard workers. We worked for everything that we did. So I had a lot of. I grew up faster than most.
Mm-hmm.
Did I have my immature ways? Yeah, of course. But for the most part, I wasn't going out drinking. I wasn't doing all that. I was trying to be a family man, trying to have kids, and she wasn't having it.
Oh, so she still had that young mentality.
Yeah.
Okay. See, that's usually not the case with most guys coming up. And then also too, I don't know. I think a lot of times, I'm not saying all guys, but a lot of times it depends if you had that father figure, or sometimes guys just know. You get what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah, my father was in. Yeah, my father was. He's my role model, man.
Yeah,
like that. He made me who the man I am now.
Yeah,
and he's always like he's the one that I looked up to. He is like everything to me. He passed away. Rest in peace. But yeah, he's was in my life heavy.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of time. I'm not saying all the time, because you have a lot of guys out here that are mature and their father never been there. But then even with that, sometimes you'll find they have some kind of role model on there. Someone that they can look up to.
My ex came from a broken family. He did not grow up with his father. I guess also how they were brought up, like how they were able to cope up with what they were missing during their childhood days. My husband had a very my ex had a very dysfunctional family. Came from a dysfunctional family, but I don't think that's the standard thing to follow. There are a lot of friends that I know who came from the same kind of setup, and they came out as winners and victors. It's really something that want to pull you down, but also I think it's a matter of how family was with you, how you were brought up, and unfortunately, she was not. She was. We came from a different kind of setup of family. I came from a family that is close knit, very supportive of one another. Actually, my family didn't approve my relationship with him because he lacks the push. He lacks the initiative to do things for my family. So my father was saying that should you not be treated well by your man, you can come home. You can take care of him. Even my brother would tell him that if you're not taking care of my daughter or my sister, we'll take him back. We'll take him back. And of course, I was trying to save the family, but that's something else. This is how the Filipino woman is. She wants on that family no matter what. She would always have this thing in her mind that I want to have a complete family for my kids. And if it's years for me to wait for my husband to mature, I will do it. But then there is a certain threshold already that you can tolerate. Just so when he started having substance abuse, so there was already it became an abusive relationship until.
You have a drinking problem?
Sorry.
Do you have a drinking problem?
He was using drugs. He was using drugs. Later on.
Doing drugs?
Yeah. So that's that.
Sorry, Marie, I'm laughing because you're answering Dr. Phil right now. It's just the questions are so perfect. I said, boy, Chris. It was lined up so perfect, and then David just laughing. I'm trying not to laugh, but I'm looking at David's face. Like, oh, he making me.
You guys are doing this with already. I could not recognize which one is but you're not. I hate you guys.
That's crazy. Your boy Chris. But on a serious note, I just wanted to get deep with something because we're getting the layer, we're getting the surface. Have you ever been through any ika na ito situations? That's like, if anyone knows that, that's a show out here in the Philippines. Ika na itos. You watch that?
No.
Maria? You don't watch? No. You don't watch that?
Sorry.
Oh wow. Oh well, ika na itos. That's like where what happened, Kay? She's screaming like a ika ani. What? Oh my God, she's bugging. Ika anim? Oh, ika anim na utos.
Ika
anim. Yeah, he knows. Well, let me break it down. That's like where the girl, right? She had a husband, and so this girl did anything she could do to take her husband from her, and she actually was her best friend, or supposedly the best friend. So, do you find like that happens a lot? Because I don't know. I hear rumors that a lot of times it's hard to find a good man out here in the Philippines. That's what women say. So, do you find that a lot of women will try to take your man or the other woman's man? Because that does happen in the U.S. too. And women, and I'm not trying to say all women like that. Women naturally sometimes say, I don't want my own man. I want your man.
I don't think that is cultural. I think it's so happen that if you come up with a woman, if you come across a woman with such character, it doesn't really, it's more of the man being vulnerable, being open to temptations. Um, Here's the thing. When I had this broken relationship with my ex, I
Mm-hmm.
had some inferiority complex within my family because my family was filled with good men and women,
Mm.
perfect set up. No one was ever separated in
Mm-hmm.
my immediate family. So you could just imagine how I felt during that time. That's why I was trying to hang on to that relationship because I thought I could still survive. I could still nurture it in the best way I can. But I lost it. I mean, he lost it. I lost it too. But after 16 years, man, it's like I even had to seek professional help because I could not understand why um, it had to happen to me. You know what I mean?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, I was not a woman who would just wait in the house and do nothing else. I keep myself busy to help my family, you know, have a
Mm-hmm.
comfortable life. My kids go to private schools. They have school buses to take them to the school every time. You know what? I work hard, and he was always away. And
Mm.
so this is bizarre, but this is kind of natural already for men around
Mm-hmm.
that generation.
Mm-hmm.
Later on I found out that he had um, one family before me,
Ooh.
two families after me during my time,
Wow.
and another one. Because I heard that he got he had a stroke. So
Oh
his
wow.
sister told me, and he said that he had a stroke. And I after that, someone called my phone and was informing me, my ex has a stroke, had a stroke,
Mm-hmm.
and there was this woman, isn't she? I know who you are, but I don't know. Of course, you don't know me, but I know that he has kids with you, and he's been talking a lot about you, la la la. But they already have a kid. So I said, I really am on my personal business now. I don't have anything to do with whatever he is doing right now because I have not been in touch with him for 16 years. So for 10 years. So I went on communicating with the sister, not even with him. Because for the kid's sake, I just want to know and find out how he's doing. I
Mm-hmm.
learned that he had a stroke and half of his body is paralyzed and he's recuperating now. He's with his first family. So
Mm.
because he's been separated for 11 years now. So he left he has three families aside from me.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I
So
when I
he had a stroke.
yeah.
Was it a health thing or is it because he was slanging pickle all over the island?
I don't know what slang that means,
Oh
but
no, he was having no, because he was having sex with women all over the island. But I would say, yeah, David, because you know why I would say that? Not to be funny. If you're having all of these families, that's stressful, man. What do you have? Three families? Four families?
Yeah, that too.
That's crazy.
That too, yeah.
Real talk.
God knows if there are only
A
four, there's
relationship
still
is
another
stressful.
family
Yeah.
there. I don't know.
Maria,
What'd you say, Maria?
What you say?
Sorry.
Oh no, what did you say? We didn't hear you. Sorry.
Uh, Truth is, there has been a lot of cases where it's so not. I'm not comfortable in saying this, but Filipinos that generation. So he's like 45 now.
Mm-hmm.
His generation, I think there are a lot of men who were really having that kind of play,
Mm-hmm.
that game in their lives. I don't know. It's probably the generation. The Filipinos has evolved through uh, character, but I'm so sad to say this, but Filipinos mostly are mama's boys,
I can see that being possible.
and
Yeah.
that's a great influence to how we have grown our men here. Mama's
Mm.
boys trying to make their wives to be another mama.
Mm.
They expect
Yeah.
us
Put a
to
freaking
take
leash on your wife.
we're taking care of them.
Mm-hmm.
So moms would help them get, when they come home drunk, their mother
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh my son, have you eaten? Oh my son, where have you
Mm.
eaten? La, la, la. And they expect a woman to be like that to them too.
Ooh.
So
After he was drunk and like David would say, slinging pink or pick with other girls in the bar. That's sad.
yeah,
You come home and you say, baby, you want to eat some food? Oh,
exactly. I was admittedly I was like that for 2 years or 3 years until I come back to my senses and I have to attend to my kids. I only have 3 kids. I have 2 kids. I don't have 3 kids. So you take care of your business and that's it. I mean,
that's real. You said something real right there. That's the thing. It's like that, I think, in every country. But I did hear from women even out here that not even back then, even now, the men are like mama's boys, and they're used to getting their way. And that's crazy in a country with so many beautiful women that it's like that. But I guess I can kind of understand it. It's kind of like that that old Italian, that old Spanish culture.
Your mother.
Where they treat the boys like babies.
Yo,
their life.
yo, you know what that sounds like?
Yeah, what happened?
You know what that sounds like?
Why?
And that probably has a lot of influence with the Spanish.
Yes.
Spanish, yeah.
Yes.
That's what it is. That's a Spanish thing because the Italians, that's all
Mira que ya está haciendo.
Latin, I should say. It's like a Latin thing. Mm-hmm.
We have that influence until now.
Yes, yes.
More than the influence of the Americans right now, but there's more of the Spanish influences. And the family structure is based on how we were taught by our ancestors. I came from a family which has some Spanish blood on my mother's side, but my father, who is from the north of the Philippines, the Ilocanos are known to be very prudent. The men are very responsible. Food providers, because they were taught by their ancestors to be like that. They work in the mountains. They have their own farms. They till their own lands. So they're hardworking. Even my cousins who stay in the province, they're very, I must say, they're perfect providers for their families. They don't keep 2 women. They only have 1 family, 1 wife.
That's hard. I don't. Sorry to cut you off. I never understood. All right, when I was younger, I tried to be a player, right? I would have like 2 girlfriends, and this was when I was real young. I thought that was cool.
Premarital sex will make your genitals and your soul burn.
But it's hard. It's hard. When I did that, I couldn't keep up. So for these guys to keep up with families, I mean, what does he tell you? Hey, I'm going, and that's usually what it is. I'm going out of town for the weekend.
Because he was a salesman.
That's nuts.
He would go to the province. I was in sales too, but I was in the advertising sales. So it's a different field, but he's into consumer products. So he would be sent quote unquote out of town to cover some regional sales. So he was enjoying the setup, believe me. And karma it's bad.
Yeah.
That things have happened. Better.
My kids, but he has been absent in the scene for 10 years. My son doesn't even know him.
And you know what? Know that to be a positive thing.
I've been telling my kids not to hate the father because he was young. He was not responsible enough to understand the responsibilities. But I do not want to give them excuses because my kids are old enough to know that he was not ever present in their lives.
Well, I know this doesn't make sense, but you know that things always happen for a reason. Don't you agree?
Yeah, it made you stronger.
I think this is the main reason why I fell in love with my man. He's very opposite, the opposite of how my ex was. I only had one boyfriend after that relationship with the father of my kids. I could not say he's my husband because we were never married. Because
Mhm.
when we were applying for a license to get married, I learned from the department, the census department, that he had consummated a marriage when he was 18, because we were going out when he was already 21. So that put on hold of every plan that we have to solemnize our relationship. But then I was stupid young and in love. So even if we were not married, I continued living with him, although that was the same resentment of my family,
Mhm.
of course. You know, it's
Yeah. It's
moving
that's
forward.
crazy.
I just so crazy in love with my man. He's right
Mhm.
with it. I think because you guys have this culture of being close to your parents, and uh you're very open. You do not discriminate unmarried women. You do
Mhm.
not you embrace whoever you love, and do not look at other things. Just like our so much in love guy out there is. Uh, we cannot judge on how people are loving other people, because they have their own history of roller coaster rides.
Mhm.
And if you find the right person who can relate with you, relate to your experiences, you can. I believe that communication is very, very important.
Mhm.
And the way you understand it, the way you think, it should be alike. You can be opposite in some other ways, but on minor things only. Because remember that you will be with this person 24 hours of your life when you stick it out together. And
Mhm.
if you cannot handle the way he thinks, the way he, he snores, the way he laughs, I mean, right? I mean, how can you stand that? Although I've heard my man snore sometimes, it's tolerable. I can tolerate. But kidding aside, uh,
Mhm.
you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. When you are in love, you go for it. And
Mhm.
you, I believe that each and every one of these guys in this podcast is saying that when they fall in love with someone, they'll go for it. Um,
Mhm.
ain't no mountain high, and I love it. I mean,
Yeah, that's the no. Yeah.
I know it's good. Keep it up, but yeah, get crazy too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah.
You guys are amazing. And when I listen to your show, Jay, this gives me a broader knowledge of how black men think. You know, I'm only talking to my man, and I can see the similarities in how you think, how you talk, your pet peeves, your likings, what kind of a woman you would have in your life. And there's such a big similarity in your wish list. And these are just simple wish lists that I see. You just want your woman to be simple, um, loving you directly. Uh, I believe that a couple of you do not, your girls do not really speak fluent English, but you are able to understand each other. I mean, they say love is universal. It's a universal communication. And
You trying to make me blush over here. I tell you this, Joji. Forget your man in the U.S. Forget Kay. I'm coming to be with you, lady. Not joking. But but thank you.
J and K.
No, thank you. But no, I'm really honored that you put too much on my shoulders though, Maria, because but no, I understand. You get to see different guys as well, not just me. You come here, you get to see a bunch of us, black guys talking,
Right.
and you can really get the feel, especially guys like our age or older.
You know, I would say like about the age of 35 and over, which is, pretty much over middle age, pretty much. But yeah, you can get an understanding of how, like you said,
Without
how they
knowing the
think. And
reference.
I enjoy your blogs.
yeah, thank you.
I learn a lot, and with this podcast, man,
Hmm.
I'm like I can see like how my boyfriend is saying like he has friends in the name of Chico, la la la, and I would say I can now imagine how it's gonna be when I'm in
Mexican mafia kill you?
and a
Hmm.
bunch of guys like you talking like this, talking crazy, and the smart talks that you have. I mean, I'm beginning to be very comfortable with your company,
Hmm.
and I think it's going to be a good thing for me and Ray.
Yeah. Well,
It's preparing me for the best.
you know
You
what
know,
it is too. I sorry about that. Let me cut you off. A lot of people, they before they look at this or maybe some other guys out there, they automatically judge, from movies or from music of what black
yeah.
guys are like, and it's totally not like that. Okay, what you gonna say, Jason?
I was going to say the same thing. You know, black men actually get a bad rap,
Hmm.
um, and they're not looked at. They're looked at as the stereotypes, and
You're
that's
high.
that's that's not the case.
I
Hmm.
so
And
nice. Uh,
yeah,
I
what
have
you gonna
been
say,
in
sir?
a relationship with Ray. I was already talking. I had two relationships, online relationships. One could have been could have met, but personally, he's from Canada, and the other one is from UK. So we were going well, but when we parted ways, we both, you know, when there's no possibility for them to come here, we called it quits. And uh, my man knows about everything, and this is the reason why we I stuck it out with him for 4 years, even if he hasn't come here. Because I see the sincerity, and I see that he has plans, and it's not in our terms in the Filipino or Tagalog term. It's not drawing. It's just something that you just draw in a paper and leave it like that. He has definite plans, and the way he treats me and the kids, man,
Hmm. One thing, before we go, because we've been on for a while, but before we go, one thing I want to say is doubt when it comes to dating online. It's a lot of people do have doubt. I had a lot of doubt, and I've actually had to go through talking to, I would say maybe 5 to 6 different women
Tell me
before I
one.
spoke with Kay. Right. So what happened was
Give
when
me
I was
short.
doing that, I said, let me just I got rid of people right away, and then I met Kay, and then I learned more of what Kay was about. I seen she was into the same thing I was. I seen we had a lot of similarities, and that's what it's about. But to those guys that have done what I've done, be like Danelle, be like David, even be like me eventually after 2 years
This is
after
going
me.
to be a changing day in your life.
Just yeah, like you said, it's gonna be a changing day in your life. Just go meet her. If you're unsure,
Change what you don't
go
know.
earlier. Go earlier. Go meet your Filipina, because you never know what you're missing out on. You just never know because you could say, you know what, I don't want to deal with that relationship anymore, which I've almost did to Kay, and that turned out to be a beautiful marriage. And Kay was almost a situation where I was like, hey, I'm not dating a Filipina anymore. I'm not. Why am I gonna go all the way over there? Uh, some guys could be thinking, oh, people are. It's martial law right now. There's no martial law where I am. There's no not in Manila. That's only in one area. That's in Mindanao. There's no Americans being kidnapped like that, like how you would think. Usually they're in a place they shouldn't be, or like say if they put out an advisory,
Acting out.
yeah, acting out. So I say that to say this, guys. You get a lot of people that ask me, I'm like, hey, is it dangerous? What do I have to worry about? And I'm not one to just say, oh, you know, people don't need to be worried. Of course, you're going to a country you don't know, but just go. Just go. When you get off that plane, have the Uber downloaded in your phone because those taxi drivers will rip you off. So have Uber downloaded to where you can just turn it right on, adjust it to the Philippines, contact the Uber. The Uber will let you know where you can meet them at. They would say to you, hey, look, meet me here. You'll be surprised. You'll pay 200 pesos. You'll be surprised. You can find places for cheap, Airbnb. You know, all the guys out there, especially the ones that ask me a lot of questions in my email messages, just go. Take the chance. Take the chance. You know, find the cheap seasons.
The Philippines is a beautiful country, man. There's culture's beautiful. I mean, just go. Just seriously, just go.
Let's get real. If we're gonna be real. Let's be real.
Because you know, a lot of times you'll find that, you know, when you get here, of course you want to make sure you have your stuff tucked away. But you know, a lot of the Filipinos, they're not looking to rob you. They're actually happy to see you, believe it or not. You know,
Better tell me the truth.
They watch movies. They you know, they watch all of these things that are American culture. So when they see a black guy or they see a white guy, they're actually happy to see you.
Very careful.
You know, and they're not racist if they, especially with black guys out there. If a Filipino says negro, they're not calling you a nigger. All right, they're calling you black. Because of my wife's father said it like that to me. She said, "Oh, he said, oh, you're a negro." And as a black man growing up,
Set your back.
Are you calling me a nigger? Yeah. But I know he didn't mean it like that because he was happy to see me and he had a smile on his face when he said it. You know, I don't think he was being sarcastic. Kay, is your father like that? I don't think so. I don't know why I asked that. But yeah, guys, it's beautiful out here. Just come on down and visit. And the last final thoughts. Anybody got anything to say?
Is that the microwave? What the hell is that?
Oh no, that was my oven. I don't use microwaves.
About whether you had one glass of wine or two.
I'm hungry. Yeah, final thoughts for anyone.
Let's go around the table.
Greg.
Let Greg
August
go
26th, Mayweather McGregor.
That's a fluff fight.
Tanya.
That's a fluff piece.
My sister Yvette.
And I know Ruki probably left us already. Ruki is I think right now she's doing a because you know Ruki don't play. Ruki, let me tell you, Ruki is getting even more intense. Y'all gotta check out Ruki at Dacton. She makes like 20 videos a day. I'm like, man, it's 24 hours in a day. And she's making 20 videos. How you doing it, Ruki? Like, how you doing it?
No, it's okay. I just want to talk about the Maria thing though, because she's like my mom situation. My mom is married to an American, a black American. So my mom called me like the other day and she was like, why don't you go online and look for a black guy? Why do you like white guys? Because white guys are scary. And I was like, wow, that's coming from you. So I was like, she also tells me like, yeah, Michael is my stepdad. So he's like, Michael is really a nice guy. He's like this. I think black guys are, I'm sorry to offend other race guys, but this is from her. She's like, oh yeah, black guys are better. They're actually very nice. They're kind. That's why she's only been married to black guys. Like this is her second marriage and it's a black guy again.
Not to mean to, you know, put some thoughts in your head, but it's a little more than that.
Yeah. Maybe.
Mama ain't telling you everything.
I mean, I thought about it also.
Mama, listen to you, but yeah. But yeah, Rookie, I don't want you to tell you exactly how you made the videos.
We're talking about breast implant surgery.
Check out Rookie. You know, you guys have any other final thoughts?
So how good looking are you?
Was that a question for Rookie?
For you, Jay.
I'm an ugly dude, man.
Got the fake boobs.
Yeah. But all right, so I guess we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah. Go get some food. I'm making my food right now. And we'll see y'all next week. Next week
Talk
we'll
to me.
open it up
Say
and keep it much short.
Talk
Much
to me.
shorter.
Say something.
Other than that, peace.
Bye.
Bye.